First of all, thanks for everybody showing up. Sorry for the delay, it was pure accidental, but the boulevard does come into play. And we have to announce tonight's hearings, we're scheduled for 2 hearings. The one has been withdrawn, so we're only gonna have this one, the one that you are all here present for. And at this time, we'll have roll call.
Eugene Gola,
Present.
Annette Brennan here, Andy Brummel,
Present.
Christy Monaco here, Chuck Humphrey,
Present.
Kurt Ryder,
Here.
Franklin Kepner,
Here.
and Sergeant Stenographer.
Thank you. Before we start, we're gonna have a pledge of allegiance to the flag.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Just to alert everybody, if you are going to speak, you have to sign in, there's a sign-in sheet where you came in, but if you're gonna have just a couple designated speakers, that's all, then they're the only ones that have to sign in. And at the time when you're ready to speak, you'll come to the podium, the young lady will swear you in. And we do have an excessive amount of people that we normally have. We don't have this many, and I thank you for coming. But we are gonna have control of the meeting. So at this time, Kurt, could you explain why we are here?
Sure.
Do you swear from the testimony you're about to give to be the truth and nothing but the truth?
I do. Hearing number 1 will be on the application of Community Resource Connections, 1132 Salem Boulevard, Berwick, PA, Wayne 603, for a special exception of section 322, uses not addressed within the zoning ordinance of the Borough of Berwick zoning ordinance. Applicant is requesting to have a temporary emergency code blue homeless warming shelter located at 325 South Mercer Street. It's the Eagle Hose Company number 2, Berwick, PA 18603. Said property is located in I-1 Light Industrial Zoning District. This hearing was advertised in the Press Enterprise December 4th and December 11th. The property was posted on December 10th, and citizens within 200 feet are notified of posting.
Thank you. At this time, is there a representative of your company or
Yes.
whatever?
Please go this way.
Thank you.
For you.
Hi, can you raise your right hand? Do you swear from the testimony you're about to give to be the truth and nothing but the truth?
I do.
And can you just spell your name for me?
Yes. Tracy, Tracy, Larish, Larish.
Thank you. Tell me why we should grant you.
So basically, we're looking to fill a large need in the community. We understand that there was issues last year that couldn't have been rolled over onto this year. So we applied for the zoning, we had the code inspection. All of our board members were volunteers last year at the Code Blue, so we got the experience, we know how to run it, we know, what worked, what didn't work, it was a learning experience for sure. Our goal is by far, most importantly, to keep our community members safe, to keep them alive during the winter months. As a nonprofit, we do offer case management during the day. That's within our own nonprofit. That is separate from the Code Blue Shelter. The Code Blue Shelter is to have them come in between 8 and 10 p.m., feed them, lights out, doors locked at 10 p.m., and then they leave at 8 a.m. We want to give also the community around us an area that, heaven forbid, if there is some sort of emergency, power outage or something like that, we would also represent for somebody in need, the elderly, or somebody that's not able to stay in a house without heat. We want to be there for those community members. And right now, unfortunately, the cost of living in our area, inflation, housing crisis. We are on a weekly basis seeing new clients that are facing eviction or have already faced eviction, living on the streets, living in their cars. This gives us the opportunity to give them somewhere safe at night to be, and then once you start developing those relationships with them, they're willing to trust you enough to help them with their needs that they have for us during the day. So, does anybody have any questions for
Oh,
me?
you're gonna have some questions. I'm
Okay.
sure. But before we get to that point, I have a personal question.
Sure,
I would like you to step aside as the representative of the Eagle Hose Company here.
yep, Shannon. Come on up.
I have a question. Ma'am, would you get sworn in?
Could you raise your right hand? Do you swear from the testimony you're about to give to be the truth and nothing but the truth?
I do.
And your name?
Sandy Van
Can you spell your last name?
MCAFEE.
Thank you.
Hi, ma'am.
I do.
We could say Jean, I guess. But, my question to the Eagle Fire Company is, you are going to lease the or that part of the building to the outfit? You are?
Yes,
Who has the insurance?
we do.
And you have a rider for a shelter?
And that part of the building, I have already taken the liquor license off of that. So that is free and clear from the liquor license, that can be opened the way it is now.
Okay.
So there's no
That you
problem
went
there.
through the LCB?
Yeah, I went through, liquor control board, they walked me through everything, they told me exactly how to do it, he waited until I was done with everything, checked it all out, and said we did everything fine.
That's good. Okay, that was the question I had.
Yeah.
Now, before I allow you to sit down, any one of the board members have a question of the young lady?
Yeah, I do. Hi, how are you?
Hi.
Listen to my voice. So, you are not going to rent that part of the building then?
No, no.
Even after they are through with their months of,
After they're all done, I think we said, when the weather changes, like I gave it to Liquor Control Board, I put a tentative date for April the 1st. So then all I have to, well, I don't have to. They will just automatically put the liquor license back on that premises April 2nd.
and the doors are able to be locked between the bar
Oh,
and
they're already
that
done.
they're secure?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's no liability?
Yeah, they don't
for-
get into the bar, the only access they have is to the social hall, the bathrooms, and the kitchen.
And there's no way through the kitchen to the bar?
Locked.
Okay. All right. I
Yeah,
think
everything
that's-
is locked down.
I think that's all I have for Eagle Hose. Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry. Is there a, entrance that they are going to be able to come in and out of, that is a private entrance?
Yeah.
So they will not be
Yeah.
coming through the bar at all?
They don't come,
Zero.
they've never come through the bar.
Okay.
No.
So you've done this before?
We've been operating the soup kitchen.
The soup kitchen.
Oh,
The
okay.
overnight
So
soup
they
kitchen.
come through the
Yeah.
other?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah,
have
they
an
just stay
overnight
in
soup
that
kitchen
area.
now?
Yes, we've been operating an overnight soup kitchen until this was allowed to be, hopefully, passed. No accommodating sleeping, they come in if they're in danger of freezing,
Okay,
they can come in with us and eat, they just cannot sleep there.
okay.
And that's open to everybody.
Yeah,
That
that's
is
the whole
not just
community that's-
open, and I mean, we've got a lot more people coming in than the homeless people.
No, I think it's a very good service. I just wanna understand the whole thing,
Thank
the
you.
whole,
Come
whole
down
of
and
it.
visit.
Yeah.
Come down,
In
Chrissy.
all my spare time.
Come down, Chrissy. Come down
Check
and
it
see
out.
us.
Are there any other organizations involved with what you're doing?
No, right now,
Just you?
yep, we have the community support, basically, if we have a need, we post it and the community steps up.
How do you post it? Like,
On
how do
Facebook.
people know that
On
they can
Facebook.
come?
So we have a page called Community Resource Connections, and then we also share it to the, Berwick Nesquebec Community Resource page on
Okay.
Facebook.
All right. Okay, and what are your, I'm sorry, I'm probably going a little further than I should, but, cause other people have questions, but
Go ahead.
what is your code blue plan? I did a little bit of research just
Mhm.
because I wasn't aware of how a business like this operates, so
Mhm.
what is your code blue plan? 40 degrees, 30 degrees, 12
Right,
inches of
so
snow,
we had
wind
actually
chill?
discussed that, at the borough meeting, and, our goal would be to say 45 degrees, or April first, that way it gives us the freedom without being micromanaged, is actually what the borough had told us specifically last year. Bloomsburg's degrees is 45 degrees now for that reason. Otherwise, it's gonna be a yo-yo back and forth of whether or not, what nights we can be open. This gives us, yeah, Bloomsburg operates on a 45 degree.
Oh, that must have just changed, they're at 32.
Yeah, last year it was 45.
Temperature 32 degrees, National Weather Service wind chill temperature to be 0 degrees Fahrenheit or lower, that's when they call it
Yeah, I'll have
code
to check
blue
into
and
that, I'm
Bloomsburg.
sorry, I know last year they had the
Um,
45 degree limit, and, then I believe, I don't wanna say, cause I'm not sure, one of the council members had said to us, you know what, we don't wanna micromanage with the temperatures, can you just pick a date? And that's when we had, actually, they had picked the end of April, but we did end up closing the end of March.
So you don't wanna put a temperature or parameters on it, you want to be able to be open for anyone.
Correct. Correct.
Between what date and what date?
I would say now till April 1st.
So December 19th
Mhm.
to April 1st. So you could
It's
have.
18.
18th, sorry,
Sorry, yeah.
I'm a day ahead, 18th to April 1st. So you could have traffic for months in that area,
Car traffic?
like just people
Oh,
traveling
okay,
in and
yeah.
out of the building for months
Yes.
in that area,
Mhm.
regardless of whether it's a
Between 8
strong
and 10.
need with weather or not.
Yeah, it would be between 8 and 10, and then PM, and then 8 o'clock in the morning when they leave.
And how many days are they allowed to stay?
7 days a week, all winter long.
So you can house the same person for months?
Yes, yeah. Our goal is to absolutely help them find the resources that they need to get to establish housing. But that is what a code blue shelter is, there is no limited time on how long they can stay there. There is no,
Are you also helping them with job searching
Mhm.
and?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that through the case management?
yeah.
And the case management is from 8 AM till,
That, we set appointments with them,
okay.
yeah.
I think I'm only gonna have one more question, cause I'm gonna let everybody else talk, but, so what are your security measures? You're locking doors, people
Yeah.
can't leave after a certain time. Your staffing is how many people, per how many
There-
people?
So it will operate with, 2 people scheduled per shift, which means 6 volunteers per evening. It's 4-hour shifts, and security is also, that place is under 24-hour surveillance in every nook and cranny and corner,
Right,
and,
yeah,
you know.
I'm intimate.
Yeah.
So you have, you can have up to 30 beds, I read, correct?
We do have 30 beds available to us,
You
yeah,
have 30 beds, but only 2 people to staff 30 people.
right, yeah.
15-to-1 ratio.
Right, we were not aware of what our allowance would be, so we requested 30 beds from the Red Cross, and we were waiting for
Totally
guidance
makes
on.
sense,
Yeah.
I just think we all need to have all the information.
Yeah, so now last year that was the same, we had 30 beds, 2 people per shift to staff it, cause keep in mind, they're sleeping. Last year we were around the clock, but this year they're gonna be sleeping, so the minimum amount of work, it's.
How many incidents did you have last year?
I can't say, I don't know, as a volunteer, I'm not privy to that information. I can tell you for sure that it was a huge success with getting the majority of the people housed, getting them off the streets. There's very few chronic homeless that we're still dealing with, that we're still assisting and still working with them, because sometimes unfortunately, a year is not enough time to establish the financial stability that they need to gain.
But we don't have the data on
We do not.
incidences within the shelters.
We do not, that would have to be gained through Agape and Gatehouse.
Okay. And, okay, so I have another one, Megan's Law. How do you do your background checks?
We look up on Megan's Law, we use anything that we can to search.
Do you have a
Obviously, we start with
service?
obviously, we start with the normal Google search, then we do the Megan's Law, and we do the PAE dockets.
Okay, so you do have PAE dockets that anybody can search it online?
Mhm.
Okay,
Yep.
so there's no established program that you
No.
go into?
No.
Okay, great, I'm gonna let someone else talk. Thank you for answering so well.
Mr. Lars, can you mentioned 8 to 10 before the app says 8 to 8, can you clarify?
Did I say, oh, so 8 to 10, we are open, that's when people can come in and register to stay.
For intake.
Yeah, for their
Okay.
intake, and we're also feeding them during those hours.
All right.
By 10 o'clock, it's doors locked and lights out.
Okay, door open 8, door close at 8.
Correct.
On days that it wouldn't hit 45, are you still gonna run the soup kitchen? I'm just curious.
You know, to be honest, we haven't discussed that yet. If there's a need, we can approach that, but, that didn't fall within the need for the zoning ordinance, so.
Okay. And Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a statement. I think what I was disappointed about in your resource page on Facebook
Mhm.
was the initial comments about us, that we delayed this meeting and we were being what do I wanna say? We were being uncaring about the community.
Yeah.
We don't set the meeting time. I wanna clarify for everybody in the room. We don't set these meeting times. There are rules regarding the meeting times so it can be advertised, so people can come from that neighborhood and comment. So I wanna clarify, because the Facebook crap, and I'm sorry, but that's what it is. I use social media, but painted us in a light that I think was very discouraging, and I found it very disappointing. So I would appreciate, know that you have a lot of say in that group. You need to police that group a little more, so there's correct facts going out there about us who serve this community with the best of interest.
And was that, you mean in the Berwick Nescapeck
Yes,
Resources
it
Group?
was.
Okay.
Yes.
I
That's
understand.
disappointing to me, so I wanna call that out.
Mhm.
We at no time delayed that meeting, we followed the rules as it is, and we're here tonight to consider based on the rules that exist, so I think that needs to be said. I think you're doing a wonderful service to the community. I applaud you all. I've known Chip, we're Chip and Chuck, so we were two Chucks in school. So I've known him a long time, and it's a good thing you're doing, but there has to be rules to be followed, and the only other thing I would say is, to the rest of the board tonight is, I'd like to see if we grant this, whatever action we take, that we be sure to make it that it is for this year. And if there's another year come out, that we come and reconsider. I think it gives the borough time to take a look at what happened this year and reflect and then go from there. So that's my only comment that I have. Thank you.
Just to clarify something,
Mhm.
at 8 o'clock,
Yes,
you empty the doors, right?
we open the door.
Everybody has to go.
Oh, in the morning, yes. Correct.
Cause I wasn't sure the way it was being said, that once they're there, they can't leave after 10:30, but then they can come for 7 days,
They
Correct.
can come for as long as they want.
Yeah, they can,
but not continue. They have to leave
correct.
from,
In the morning.
They can come
Like
back
eight-
every night, yes, for the
okay,
whole
that's
season,
how-
but they have to leave
they
for
have to
during
be,
the day, yeah.
they can come back at
Yeah,
night,
this
they
is only
just
a
can't,
nighttime shelter.
no live-ins,
Correct. Yeah.
no live-ins.
No, they're not.
And as far as, I don't do the media thing,
Okay, yeah.
was I down there looking?
Yes, you were.
Did I get
Appreciate it.
offered about 4 dinners that night?
Didn't say.
I
You
did.
not say so.
We do care,
Yeah.
but as Chuck said, we have rules,
Mhm.
and everybody should have rules. We have them in our families, we have them in our government, hopefully. We have a man there to make sure the borough follows the rules. And, I wasn't aware because I don't deal with it, but we do care, and there's been a lot of conversation, but that isn't good.
Yeah,
Why should we take shots? We wouldn't give you guys shots.
yeah.
You guys are doing a service.
Mhm. I can definitely say that whatever those comments were, so can you tell me, I mean, I mostly manned the CRC page, it wasn't directly posted from us, correct? Like, you're saying it was posted
It
from
was
somebody
it was
else?
the initial comments that surrounded it. I believe it was on the resource page. If I'm wrong, I'll stand corrected.
Okay, I'm gonna look into that, that's
Okay.
what I wanna see.
And that issue, if these two wanna get together
Yeah.
after the
Yeah.
hearing, Annette,
So my question would be, at 8 o'clock,
Yes,
do you arrange for them to have rides?
oh no, No.
So how do they
No,
leave
just,
the area?
So some of them do live in their cars currently, and they're looking for something more stable to, to lay down and sleep, so they would obviously be able to drive. Some of them give others rides, but it's the transportation, to wherever their resources are during the day to go
Right,
is
so
up to them.
They
we-
don't stay there?
No, they
in
do
that
not stay
area?
there.
Okay, so my
No.
question would be, there's a lot of support here tonight
Yeah.
for what you're doing.
Yeah.
But is there anyone here in opposition, like neighbors or anything
Yeah.
that's who I would like to hear from at this point?
Yeah, and I
You
just wanna
will-
add
You
before I
will definitely be given your, I'm looking back today.
I just wanna add before I step down,
No,
most
you
of the
have
resources.
you have the floor.
Okay, before, most of the resources they have to go during the day are uptown. There is the library, the YMCA, there's different places like that they do attend, but most of them are uptown, so.
You had said that some will be driving in there, and
Mhm.
where are they parking?
Their cars will be parked in the side parking lot next to the door we're using.
And there's plenty of parking spaces
Oh, yeah.
there.
Mhm. Do you know how many parking spots are there?
It seems to me
30?
that ours is a new group growing.
Mhm.
Are you guys in conjunction with Agape? Because
No.
they've been around forever and they seem to have everything worked out.
Yeah, so like I said, we actually, Agape backed us last year as to help open it, but we ran it. Last year, Agape and Gatehouse, they backed us to open it, to offer any support needed and to run the case management last year. When that closed, all of the volunteers that were running it, we opened our own nonprofit to continue doing it, because at that point, to us, there was too many people still left without resources. That still needed the continued support to help get where they needed. We've been actively working with them to get that, and we've had many
With
success
Agape?
stories. No, on our own. We offer our own case management. We have a couple of veterans that we've had, under our care and stuff, and, we've had a lot of success stories. Some of them are quicker than others, but
So I do have one more question. So in regards to everybody talking about people getting out, what about the bar clientele? They cannot get in.
oh, no.
Oh, no,
okay.
they have their own entrance to get
Yeah.
in. Yeah,
So-
this is a great big, I don't know.
It's bigger than this.
Bigger than
Yeah,
this
bigger
room,
for
and it's
sure.
quite
Yeah.
big, Jean's been down there, but, it's quite large, and they've got their own entrance over there, the bar has their own entrance. Now, the only thing that I did tell them at the, council meeting was you've gotta realize that we still are a business. So they all share the bathroom, and our clientele is not worried about that whatsoever, they're all for it.
They all share the same bathroom.
Yeah,
They can
there's-
get through the bathroom from the bar, and they can get through the bathroom from the other side.
Yeah.
But we
Yeah,
were
but all
told
of
it's
that-
locked and they can't get
The
through.
bar is locked down, the bathroom is locked down, my office is all locked, they can't get to any of that.
But
Plus
that's
the
what I'm saying,
volunteers
either
are there
way,
watching them.
Clientele cannot get there.
Right,
Correct.
right.
Okay.
Are there, you say you have 2 per shift.
Mhm.
Are there males and females on at the same time?
Yeah, it has
No,
been.
either, are
So
there
no,
males?
it can be whoever signs up together. My sister and I volunteered together on the same shift. 2 males have volunteered together on the same shift. It goes according to their work schedules is when they
I
can.
understand that, but I'm looking at the safety part of it.
Sure, And again, like I'll remind you
Some
again.
women I won't wanna tangle with,
Right,
but,
yeah,
you know,
no.
they're,
Again,
the
further reminder
male,
that this is
the
a
male
sleeping
presence
shelter.
does a lot.
Yeah,
Your intention is it to be a sleeping shelter.
Yeah.
What their intention is what you have to worry about, is
Right.
what Gina's
And we
saying.
Yeah,
all
I
know it
understand
may
that.
not be the same.
and I can testify that last year, we had difficulty getting them to keep the lights on until lights out time. They were eager to go to sleep. That's why they came to us, was for a good night's rest. So at 7:30, it's dark outside, already for 2 hours, they're turning the lights out, and we had to tell them, guys, you gotta keep it on, and so we locked the doors. People are gonna think we're closed already for intakes, so that was, all I can speak of is our experience in it, and it was a very long winter of it, and we did not have any of those problems we ran into. They really did want to come there to rest,
Sandy, are you going to adjust your bar hours? Are you going to adjust your bar hours?
Am I going to adjust the bar hours?
If they're going night-night at 10 o'clock and you're right next door and it's
Oh, they're
a
usually closed by
paper
then.
thin wall.
Most nights,
We usually open from 5 to 9.
yeah.
Alright,
I have one last question. So all your volunteers have clearances?
Yep, mhm.
Is there any paid employees, or is it all volunteers?
All volunteers.
Now, the food kitchen,
Mhm.
which I think is a great idea.
Mhm.
And like I said, I was offered 3 or 4 dinners. At this time, have you had people come in after 10 or 10:30
Oh,
for
yeah.
a meal?
Yeah,
Okay,
because
what
we
are
are,
you going to do, cause at 10:30 you're locking the doors.
correct. Yes.
Now, are we shutting out the people who would be coming for a late supper?
So right now, yes, that is the code blue stipulations, that's
Okay.
that's all we
So
can offer.
you are following a certain
Mhm.
set of guidelines?
Yeah, if they need food, they have to come there between 8 and 10, and we can pack them a family box, we can give them a hot meal.
So we can't advertise it as a open kitchen,
No,
24-hour
no,
kitchen?
mm-mm.
Okay. Mr. Solicitor,
I just have a couple of questions. Earlier you said 45 degrees or April 1st.
Yeah,
So if it's under 45 degrees past April 1st, is it possible to be open then, or is April 1st the deadline, that's the cutoff?
so I was basing that off of, during the last borough meeting, I don't know if you got to watch that, when Teresa had asked for it to be voted on, that she was asked if there was any stipulations, and she said the same stipulations of Agape last year. That was the end of April or 45 degrees, so that's what I was basing it on, because I didn't know at this point if you all had stipulations that you wanted to base it on, but we're comfortable with 45 degrees or April 1st.
Okay. And then, follow up on the Megan's Law question. I know you said you checked the dockets,
Mhm.
and you can check the Megan's Law website, but in the packet it says collect name, ID if available, not required, so how do you
Yeah.
necessarily know who people are?
So that's where we step in as community resource connections and obtain their identification.
Okay.
We did that a lot last year. That's why we have, like funding to get their IDs, their birth certificates, their social security cards. That's our first step with that, is to get them the identification. And I mean, to be honest, it's a small town. So far, everybody that we approached last year with that instance, we were already aware of who they were. I'm not saying it would be that lucky this year, but that is our first step with them then, is to gain their identifying documents that are needed.
and that night they would be turned away from the door.
If we can't verify who they are, yes.
They have no identification with them, and there's no way to verify who they are. Are you letting them in that night, or are you
If we
turning them
don't know
away?
them already, because for example, we do have a client with us now who, lost his identification, but he's a client of ours for the last few months. We know who he is. We know that he passes all the background checks. We're well aware of that
So
situation.
if you get stopped by PSP on the interstate,
Mhm.
and they wanna see your driver's license, and you tell them you lost it,
Correct.
you better have it there in 24 hours, or you've got a ticket.
Right.
So you can't just,
No,
How
I'm
have
just saying
this
that there
gone?
will be the exception for the clients in our neighborhood that we are aware of who they are. If they don't have their identification on, and it's somebody that we're working with, we clearly know who they are, we are gonna accept them.
how long do you keep the records?
We have them, so last year, we have the clients that we still maintained from last year into this year. Keep in mind, we just opened our nonprofit in March.
Yeah,
So-
absolutely, and so basically what I'm asking you is for general business plans, right?
Mhm.
So how long are you gonna keep the records? How often will you do the background checks? Like, I know that there are people that I know, like you didn't have a speeding ticket yesterday, but 10 days
Sure.
down the road, you have a speeding ticket, so how often are you going to do this? If they're repeat people who are coming to your shelter and you are going to allow that to happen, which I think is a good thing, we like to give hand ups, not handouts all the time, right?
Yeah.
We wanna set them on a path to good well-being.
Yeah.
So how often are you going to do these is it every single time they come in? Cause it sounds to me like it's not, and a lot of things can change.
So keep in mind, the ones that I'm referencing, they're already our clients, we're with them multiple times a week right now.
Mhm.
So we work with them on getting them to, if they have a court appointment, a doctor's appointment, or something like that. So we are very well aware, not to mention, like I said, it being a small town, we're aware of the news, we're aware of if something would happen. But that one-on-one, you know, relationship we've established with them keeps us in the loop.
But even if you know
Mhm.
the person that comes to your door.
Yeah.
Whomever is handling the door that night.
Yeah.
That shift. Are they asking for an idea?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I saw you last week, I saw you last month.
Yeah.
I saw you last year. Is everybody being addressed the same?
Yes, yes, absolutely.
So they all have to produce an ID?
Yes, they will, yes, once, if they are not already aware of them, you know what I mean, like, say that you.
No, not that I know Annette.
Right,
She has to show me who she is.
right,
Just
And
like
then-
if I go into the library, I have to show my library card, which
we
I
actually
don't
did
have.
discuss having membership
Right.
cards for it once they're established, but, we run into a problem there with, it's not an actual form of identification, a legal form of identification, and that could be swapped out,
Well, in
so-
Pennsylvania, you can get an ID, official ID card.
Yes.
Not being a driver, you can get one real easy.
Right, that's what we take them for, that's what I was talking about with the client earlier,
But
that
the
lost.
night, are you giving a grace period if they don't have one tonight?
If they don't have one tonight, if we don't know them, no. No,
Okay.
if we don't
Do
already
you
know them,
keep
no.
record of who you turn away then?
Yep.
Okay.
Mr. Solicitor, can I jump in their application, and while they're still have the floor, they mentioned that if we would not approve tonight, it could be deemed a violation of fair housing laws. Can you comment on that? But I'd like to know, just in the back of my head as I think about this, where I stand in relation to protecting the borough on that matter.
So I researched this pretty extensively prior to tonight. I didn't come across anything along those lines, to be honest with you. There's a case on point with regard to the special exception out of Monroe County, but I didn't see anything that said that if this was denied, it would be a violation of fair housing laws.
Thank you.
Unless there's any questions from the board, you two, at this time. From the audience, do we have any questions? Will they have the floor of the two individuals that are up here? Okay, at this time, please, we do have a question, yes.
You did not answer
No.
the direct question.
Stand
Hold on,
up,
yeah, I
get
just heard you.
sworn in, give your name, please.
Hello, Dr. Brian Bites?
Do you swear from the testimony you're about to give to be the truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Could I have your name again, please?
Brian, B-R-I-A-N, last name is Bites, B as in boy, E-I-T-Z.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Would you come to the podium, please?
Sorry.
During his questioning, he had asked you a direct question about IDs.
Yeah.
And you did not give a firm answer. So are you checking on a daily basis? He used the example as Annette. So if Annette comes 5 days a week, is she showing you an ID 5 days a
No.
week?
We already know Annette by then, yeah.
Okay. And how often are you checking Annette's
When
criminal
she-
background?
When she registers,
Okay, but what if she commits a crime on Tuesday and she came in Monday?
then we're usually pretty well aware of it by the,
Okay,
that
How are
is
you
the
aware of that?
standard. That is the standard code blue operations for nationwide, not just Berwick.
but how are you aware of the crime?
Because we're local, we have connections with the community and the
Okay.
ability to see the news.
Case in point, we
Mhm.
represent a property at 230 South Popular on
Yeah.
AFC Industries, as well as the home located on 237 South
Right.
Mercer Street. We had a break-in
Right.
on December 9th and December 10th. Were you aware of that?
I wasn't made aware of that, last night.
When were you made aware of it? Last night?
Last night.
Right, so the police officer took 2 days to get to us,
Mhm.
as well as 3 days to get us a police report.
Mhm.
So that's 5 days that a crime could have been committed that you don't know about.
Rob, I'm gonna let you take this one. Yeah, they both signed in.
Hold up, wait,
Whoa, whoa,
wait,
whoa,
wait,
whoa,
wait.
whoa. If you're gonna talk, you're gonna get sworn in, or you're not
Yeah,
talking.
Rob, you have to
Okay,
get sworn in.
who's speaking first? Could you raise your right hand? Do you swear from the testimony you're about to give to be the truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
And your name?
Robert Boyer.
Okay. Go ahead.
So if a crime was committed, and like you said, it took all that time.
Correct.
I mean, number one, that person could still be going there that whole entire time. They're not found guilty of a crime for months, even a year plus. They could still be going there because they're innocent until proven guilty.
Correct.
So, I mean, realistically, if somebody was accused of a crime, whether there's a gap in time before they respond to you,
Correct.
it's not gonna matter anyway.
Okay, so how are we addressing the security for the neighborhood regarding these issues? And biggest concern would be the 8 AM exodus from the property. Are you securing and making sure that they are leaving the neighborhood and other than just leaving the parking lot?
As far as the security.
No, I'd like to add, so no, we don't have to, they are community members, they're allowed within the community wherever they want.
Okay.
Now, the matter you're dealing with unfortunately is a police matter. We are cooperating by turning over our footage of the Eagle host to help you find
Thank you.
who committed that crime.
Yes.
But, I know Rob has been looking into this.
So as far as the security for the neighborhood, I figured a 1 block radius versus the entire town. And the entire town for last year, like in your case, we'd consider it either criminal and or defiant trespass. There were 8 cases of defiant, 6 cases of criminal.
Okay, we don't need we're interested in what is going on
Well,
the
that's-
property and
This
right
is-
at the property.
That's what I was getting into.
That's
is
what
that
we're interested in,
That is where he's going with this, sir.
just in that area.
Just in that area, within,
Yes.
on the property or within 200 feet?
Within 200, or within
That's-
that neighborhood.
That's where he's
That's what I'm
going.
getting at. I was using that as an example, that out of all that trespassing, there hasn't been anything in that area, 200-foot radius. Out of all the crimes in the area in the last 3 years, which there's a lot in the town of Berwick,
Correct.
there hasn't been anything. The only thing I could find within a 200-foot radius of 325 South Mercer Street, within the last 3 years, was a crime committed at AFC Industries by Alex Victoriano. It's, attempted aggravated assault.
Correct.
Which was a pretty bad guy with gun charges and everything dating back prior to 2015.
Correct.
But that's the only crime that's been committed.
Correct.
And I could ask the same of AFC as far as how they're gonna secure their facility if they don't do background
No,
checks.
that's not what we're doing here.
So
Guys,
we-
let's focus on this.
Yes. Next question would be, you had mentioned in your discussion about locks specifically between the bar and the main room. How are you securing it? Just with a door lock?
And with a volunteer.
Okay.
That's one of the reasons behind having 2 volunteers.
So one person will be
minimum.
stationed at the bar door at all times?
Well, there's a hall area, which is where they'd be sleeping.
Correct.
And then there's a hallway which connects the bar, with the bathrooms in it. You don't go through the bathrooms to get to one or the other. So one of the volunteers would escort that person to the hallway and stand outside the bathroom doors and wait for them. They're not gonna go in the bathroom with them, obviously, but that's the biggest form of security we can provide while ensuring privacy.
Okay. And then my last question would be, what is your policy and how do you handle if a volunteer does not show up?
If a volunteer does not show up, we try to have backups on hand.
So try to, if you don't have a backup and you don't have someone and you've only got one person, how do you handle the shelter?
The last
Tracy.
person stays. Yeah, the last person stays
So
or
you
I get
have-
called in.
You have a mandate but where is the community protection? Like, we understand that from a medical field, a nurse or a doctor, we are mandated to stay by law and by policy and by contract. What is the protection from the community that it's 5 degrees out, you have someone who, for all intents and purposes, has an accident on the way, has an emergency. We know things happen, we're all humans, things happen. You don't have a backup. Will you close the shelter?
No, the backup is the person, when we get
But if that person
volunteers.
who is staying also has an issue who cannot stay.
They cover until the next person comes in. All of our volunteers are very well aware, like I said, they're very well aware of how this runs and what they're signing up for.
Okay,
This
so
is-
we are at the mercy of your schedules never changing, or none of you
As
having
we are
personal
yours,
emergencies.
sir. I mean,
Correct.
that's just how you schedule. You cannot anticipate an emergency, but we do have
So what is
backup
your emergency
volunteers.
plan if
You
you
call
run into
other
the
people in
emergency?
and the last person stays until they cover.
Okay. All right, that was my last question.
Thank you.
I do have one question.
Yes.
How many volunteers do you have?
Right now, don't know if I have that number on me. I'm gonna roughly estimate 16.
16?
Yeah.
And again, 7 days a week?
Yes, and that's growing. We've been holding off asking, we've posted it, we've been holding off really pressing for more until we know if we need a code blue. Because those hours change, the shift, just the whole dynamic of it changes.
And they've all had background checks?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, at this time, I'm going to ask, are there any other people, neighbors, or anybody else that have any questions? If you wanna speak, you'll get please come up, get sworn at, and, give your name, please.
Swore that.
You raise your right hand, do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give be the truth and nothing but the truth? And your name?
Mark Miller.
What was the last name?
Mark Miller.
Miller? Go ahead.
I have a question. When you came in here, you said, Sandy, you said the hall was all locked up. Now we're coming in through the hallway to the bathroom, which leads to your bar. So if two of them people are tied up helping somebody in, that's you only have two people in there, helping people out in there, they can come right into the bar.
Point well taken.
So you first told us that was locked up, and it's not. That hall, yes, you did say that. They're all taken care of
We're
with
not-
LCB.
First, listen,
That was
we're
told.
not gonna
Well,
argue.
I'm not gonna argue. I'm just saying that's how
Make
she said it.
statements.
I think I can help clarify that. There's,
1 minute.
okay.
You make your statements to us, and we'll give her a
Okay,
chance.
she
Yeah.
said it, okay, that's
No,
all I'm
no,
saying.
I have
You
no
know, I
problem.
live up there, and the people are gonna be coming out of there, you said like 30. How are we gonna have to take care of all them people coming up the alley? You know? Going through everybody's yard? It's not just my yard, all the other neighbors, they gotta deal with it too. You know,
Mr. Miller, what's your address?
100 South Mercer. I'm right in the alley, so they're gonna come down through there, you know, they've broken into my house before, people have. I don't want no more problems than what I have already, you know.
This is
And-
why I asked the question about the managing at 8 o'clock, about.
I only have excuse me, I have one thing to say. If it was next to any one of your houses besides mine, yous would be in the same boat I'm in, sitting there too. Guaranteed. Hands down. Yes, you would.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for your time.
So if I can remember to answer his questions, I don't know, are you familiar, sir, with the layout? Have you ever been in
We're
Eagle
Oh,
House?
yes, I have.
not gonna
Okay.
get one-on-one. You wanna make a
Okay.
statement to answer his question?
Yes.
I will take it.
Okay.
You can give it to us. please.
Okay, for those of you that aren't familiar then with the layout of the building, the banquet hall is on the left side if you're looking directly at the building, and, that is connected to the kitchen. Then after the kitchen, there's a lock. That means you can't get to the bar side. There's also a door there that goes to the hallway, a shared hallway with the bar. At 9 o'clock when the bar closes, that gets deadbolted. That gets locked and deadbolted. So that after 9 PM is on lockdown. Another way that it makes it safe is keep in mind there is a bartender on that side of the bar. They know who comes in their doors and I mean, you have to understand too that most of their nights, Sandy, how many people do you serve?
3, 4.
3 to 4 people an evening. It's very well, it would be very noticeable if others are coming from our side. So after 9 o'clock when the bar closes, that is like a fortress, locked down. There's a camera right there in the hallway also. I mean, so there's not much way to get, like there's nothing else that we could possibly do. And again, the monitoring it with two people. We are in one large room, we are in one large room that's open. We can see everything. I can be sitting on the farthest end of the room and see what is going on in that room at all times to know if somebody is going to the bathroom. So I think
the
that
reason
addresses
why-
your,
I think the reason why he made the comment was because you said that the bar patrons and the residents would be using the same restroom.
Correct.
And the bar patrons were fine with that.
Yeah.
That, but previously you stated that there was no interaction between the two.
right, I mean,
And then
I'm
said
sorry, I
even
mean,
the
after, yeah,
restroom, you said.
by lockdown, yeah,
So
yeah.
that's where that question I believe came from. So I don't think anybody thinks what you're doing is wrong.
Correct, I understand that, I understand that, yeah.
And
And-
anybody thinks what you want is
Right.
incorrect and that you're not trying to help. I think it's
Yeah.
a very valuable thing for our community.
Yeah.
I think you need parameters on it.
And I also would like to point out to Mr., I'm sorry, I don't remember, no, I would like to point out to you all that the community right now that we would open our doors to, if allowed, has already been with us. So like the traffic that he would anticipate in the alleyway coming through his yard or whatnot, they're already with us. I mean, unfortunately, we can't allow them to sleep, so, and they'll have the freedom right now to come and go.
How many are you getting for the food kitchen? right
So
now?
I've taken a head count every time somebody new comes in, and we've had up to 17. And these are unhoused individuals, 17. So,
Okay, so, all right, from 8 to 10:15, when they come in, they don't leave. They stay there.
Not for the soup kitchen.
Okay.
No.
Sorry.
No, yeah, you have
Not
that
for the soup
backwards.
kitchen,
yeah,
For the intended purpose that you're coming to us for.
8 to 10, they
Hold
can,
on.
Stop.
sorry.
Thank you.
Nancy?
Official mandate.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think I have to get out of her attic.
Please go.
So from 8 to 10, they can come in and eat. If there's somebody that just has food insecurity and wants a hot meal, they can come in to eat. 10 o'clock, we lock our doors. But,
No, so that I'm talking about, like, so what, as I said, what we're here for.
Yeah.
So from the 8 to 10:15, they're coming in
mhm,
and they're going to stay there in order to sleep.
correct,
As far as there is somebody to monitor that they don't leave, they don't linger outside
Yeah.
for any reason.
Yeah.
I think that's some of the concern, and again, what I was bringing up is the 8 o'clock, when you close, them lingering. I think there's gotta be some management, and that's what you do, you
Yeah.
manage, for them not to linger
Right.
and have a place to go, whether it
Yeah.
be a ride or with someone.
yeah,
And I think that's the concern of the neighbor, like, you know, the loitering, I
Yeah.
guess you would call it.
we'd gladly add that to our intake form as a set of guidelines to them, that they know that when it's already part of their guidelines that they have to leave the property, at closing time, but we can instruct that,
But when you're saying leave the property, they'll walk out on the sidewalk and they say, we're off the property.
And that's, so I think that, like I said, I think that's the
again,
concern.
that's, I'm sure it's a concern, but again, that's not breaking a law. They could do that
No.
right now in the
I
street if they wanted to.
understand. No, it's not
Yeah.
about breaking the law, it's just a concern of the neighbors.
Yeah.
Because, and it is something new, and
Sure.
like Christie said, it's a wonderful thing you're doing.
Mhm.
But we have to be concerned about, and I am, about the neighbors and what they feel, and that they're
Mhm.
protected and
Yeah.
feel that they're safe and their property
And
is.
you keep referring to everybody as borough residents. We don't know if they are all borough residents.
Correct? You wouldn't know that. Cause last year we
So,
did take in
you know.
Agapes. They closed before us last year and we took in residents from Bloomsburg to our area, so
And they're taking care of some of our
they
people
absolutely
right
are.
now.
They absolutely are, yep.
Ms. Larsh, if they have to smoke, I'm just curious, are you gonna have a volunteer go out with them?
Yeah, there's
Okay, no
smoking and it has
smoking
to
in the
stay
building.
right underneath the camera, right outside, and yeah, a volunteer's outside.
So there
with
is
them.
some exit during time, but they're escorted.
Yeah, not off the property. There's double doors. Are you familiar with the building?
I am, yes.
Okay, so that double door set locks there and they're allowed right out front
Okay,
of that with a volunteer.
okay.
So
Sandy, I have a question. Oh, I'm
I'm
sorry.
sorry, you don't
Two
check
on
out
a,
your
two
sleep.
on a shift,
Yeah,
so
but
that takes
one's
one
outside and
volunteer
one's
and
in the
that volunteer's
bathroom.
gone.
What's going on?
Yeah, the door stays open. The door stays open. Like there's a window there and the door stays open.
I'm quite, I just, for my own.
That's
your
how we
board-
manage it now.
Your board of directors. Is everybody in agreement, unanimous? Was there
Yeah.
dissension in your ranks?
They are.
They are, okay, I'm interested.
I wasn't.
Okay, okay, fair enough. All right.
To be honest, I wasn't. It took me a while
Okay.
to get comfortable with it.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
I appreciate
everybody
you
is.
saying that. Yeah.
Yep, everybody is.
Okay.
Um,
Cause I
one
sat on a
question.
board like that, so I know there could be.
For Sandy, is the hours, or they're not going to change? The bar hours are going to be till 9 o'clock. That's gonna stay through this whole term of the code.
Everybody's usually out of there. Our clientele has gone down really, really bad. We're working on trying to do something different and, but until all of this is over with, I'm not running the hall out at all. It's just, several people have come to me and asked me to rent it, and I said no.
Yeah, no, I'm not, I think you have every right to rent it. I'm just asking about the hours of the bar, if they're going to stay till 9 o'clock only.
It
during
might
this-
go maybe 10, 11, but no, nobody, excuse me, like Saturday night, we have free pool. So by 10:30, they're all out of there.
I guess it just concerns me, the bathroom situation concerns me, just the mix of the bar crowd and
So we have been using this already for a soup kitchen and it hasn't become an issue. So, I mean, it's been smooth,
Everybody's
That's all I
pretty
can
cool
say.
with it, so,
Yeah.
Ms. Flash, how many children have you seen?
How many children have we seen?
And you have any idea how many children you're gonna be housing? I'm just interested.
We don't have a clear estimate of that now. I know that there's one school-aged child that's in need of shelter.
School age as in
I
elementary,
can't
middle?
release that. I can't release any personal
Okay,
information.
fair enough.
But, I do know also that we're working with a father to get him housing before his visitation continues with his children in a week and a half.
Okay.
What's the difference, would you say then, and this is just for my own clarification? Because I'm interested in what you do, I think there's a need for it. But what's the difference between a code blue shelter and a homeless shelter?
Homeless shelters around the clock, and they're 24/7. They're all year round.
Right, but we don't have code blue as a weather issue, this is a temperature problem, it's a life-threatening thing. You're
Mhm.
saying 45 degrees or from December 18th
Yeah.
until April.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, so you are categorizing as a quarterly homeless shelter,
It's,
except for, I mean.
Yeah. I understand what you're
In my
saying.
opinion.
Yeah.
You need to delineate between the two. People do need help when it's cold. When
Mhm.
you're homeless, you need help. You're already giving them services, right?
Yeah.
You're there to give them the services. You're there to give them a hand up and say, I'm gonna help you find a job, I'm gonna help you do this, I'm gonna help you do this. I think you need to put parameters in that say, okay, it's going to be this temperature out, we're going to be open this time. I work for a company that employs a lot of people.
Yeah.
It's hard to get them to come to work sometime, and they're making money.
Right.
How are you gonna get your
Well,
volunteers
that's
there all the time?
respectfully,
There's
that would
nothing.
interfere with our case management with them if we were gonna micromanage the hours instead of just giving it the date. Because if, say, we help a client get employment and then they know that they're able to be picked up at 7 a.m. every morning at the Eagle Hose throughout winter until they can establish, whatever, it's gonna contradict our case management with them also,
So, do you make money for your case management?
Oh, we're all
Okay.
volunteers.
So, you have nonprofits, so where does the money come from?
We have sponsors.
Okay,
We have local
so-
sponsors, clubs and stuff that help sponsor us.
Okay, so you're not affiliated with any other organization, but you get donations from private donors who give you money to help people?
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, so I would argue that this isn't a cold blue shelter. It's people in need. Code blue is, everything I've looked up is for weather. It's about weather, it's about protecting the vulnerable in times of harsh climate. So I think my concern is, I think you're doing a quarterly thing, a nice thing for people, but you're going to get these repeat people all the time in that time frame that are just going to be there, and I think that's probably the neighbor's concern too.
Yeah.
Is that it's every day. You're not just saying, okay, it's 32 degrees, there's gonna be 12 inches of snow, there might be a wind chill of this, but, you know, here's a place for you. This is anytime you wanna come place.
So our nonprofit operates year round, so we do continue to work with them.
And that's great, but you did it for a soup kitchen and people could come in. This is a
Right.
totally different thing. If you ran the two, I think that would be great. You still have your operation, you have your soup kitchen, you're feeding people.
Again,
and you still are providing
it would run into
shelter.
in my opinion, in our experience, let's say, we would run into the same issue as they would be able to stay with us until they can't keep their eyes open anymore, and then they'd have to go find somewhere to sleep. The body needs a place to rest. We are not allowed to accommodate that as a soup kitchen.
Did
So-
you say earlier you were though?
No,
Did you
no, no,
not?
no, I'm sorry, I stated we are not allowed to accommodate sleeping.
No, not sleeping, but you are accommodating the kitchen.
Yeah, the kitchen,
Yes,
yes.
and I guess I would ask, and like I said, I'm not against this at all, I'm probably going to be just fine with it, I wanna ask the right questions.
Yeah.
So what are these people going to do when they're exhausted for the rest of the year?
Our goal is to work with the most of them to get the majority of the resources that they need. Our goal as our nonprofit is to establish long-term resources for them, you know, housing, different, but also as a Code Blue shelter, that is not, any Code Blue shelter does not have that end game goal of really, taking care of them all year round. This is to prevent deaths,
In harsh climates.
In harsh
This is
climates,
from
yeah.
December 18th to April 1st.
It's usually actually November. It's usually actually November, yeah, we're late.
November to April, but what
Yeah.
I'm saying is you're contradicting yourself, and that's fine, but I think there should be some kind of parameters on it, that's just my opinion.
Well, yeah,
And
you have to have a
that's up to the
designation.
board.
Yeah.
You know,
Now, Agape
Mm-hmm.
and the one in Danville,
Mm-hmm.
do they run a Code Blue?
Yeah.
So that means tonight they could be open and tomorrow night they cannot be?
I'm not sure how they're running it this year. Last year they were
Well,
allowed to stay
what
open
do you know?
all winter. Okay. Yeah.
So they go by temperatures.
I
That's
would
what
have
the
to
Code
ask if
Blue
anybody's
is,
aware of
right?
that. I'm not privy
Cause you
to
see it
that.
on TV a lot
Yeah,
for Wilkes-Barre and Scranton.
yeah, yes.
That they'll call a Code Blue and that means the shelters are open.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't call it, they're not.
and they're not, and that
So
was.
what she's saying
Yeah.
is exactly true. You're saying you want a Code Blue, but then you don't, you want a shelter. So, you know, there's two, am I correct, there's two?
Yeah.
Two identities.
Well, and I think our concern too is somebody can freeze to death above 32 degrees.
There's
That's not,
nobody in this whole room
yeah,
that is disputing that.
sure, yeah.
But there's two different things. So. Do we have an answer to that?
Well, I think all the verbiage says it's a shelter, not a Code Blue.
But we're calling it Code Blue, which is why
And that's what
I'm
she's
asking the
applying for,
question.
yes.
Yes.
So by mediating it with the temperature, I believe that was in the paperwork, we hadn't established one in case you guys required one.
Okay,
By-
let's all sit down for a minute.
Mhm.
I have a gentleman over here that asked a question a long time ago. You're up now.
It's not so much a question as
Podium.
as a comment, yes.
Can you raise your right hand? Do you swear from the testimony you're about to give to be the truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Can I have your name?
I'm Don Smith.
Okay.
Okay, I wanna say what they're doing, I think is great. I think there's people out there that really need help. I think there's people that got put on the street for one choice or another, maybe theirs, maybe somebody else's. They need help. I get that. Here's my problem with it. I said in a meeting in this room 8, 9, 10 weeks ago, I don't know. and they presented this petition to council. They said, well, I just started 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago. Well, you know what council voted on that night. Do you realize how many times it was said tonight in this room? Last year, last year, last year, last year. But all summer, nothing was done. Not a thing was done all summer. Now, to me, what that looks like, well, we might not get what we want, so let's wait to the last minute. These people need help. They do need help. Let's put the pressure on them and have them put a temporary order in again this year. And again next year, probably. Personally, what was said tonight, I think, was honest to a certain point. I try to listen to what's being said. I picked up on a couple things. Well, is that enough to throw it out the window? I don't know. I picked up a couple things that contradicted one another through the night, through the testimony. And I'll refer to Judge Judy. You lie to me once, I don't believe you. I don't believe you. But what they're doing is good, and I don't want to deny that fact whatsoever. But what's right is right. They knew last spring this was coming.
Different company.
And they did nothing. They did nothing. And now they want something done.
Different company.
Well, now.
We can't have anything said from the audience because I need to make a clear record, so please just refrain from doing that.
Sorry.
Mr. Smith, what's your address? I'm just interested.
1700 Spring Garden Avenue.
Thank you.
And I'm not close enough to be involved with, like some of the individuals that's living right next door. I see them in the alley. I'm not saying I see these people, and I'm not saying I see bad people, but there's certain situations you kind of pick up that maybe they are, maybe they aren't. We don't have trouble that per se. Now watch tonight, something will happen. But yeah, but my point is, it needed to be done last year, last spring. It needed to be done, and they knew it. Because I knew it, and I think everybody sitting in this room knew they were going to be homeless somewhere down along the river. Somewhere. They knew it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Now, there's a gentleman back in the back also that wanted to speak. Same routine.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear from the testimony you're about to give to be the truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
And your name?
Patrick, Noss, N-A-U-S.
Thank you.
What was said in the last council meeting, I applaud you guys for everything you are doing. Everybody sitting here from the neighborhood applauds everything you guys do. There is also ladies that are by themselves, older, 8 o'clock, I'm at work, Mark's at work, Russ is at work. There's nobody in the neighborhood to watch over them. What are you doing to exodus everybody from the neighborhood? Not saying, I know it is public space, I understand that. There's also a VFW pavilion, 75 feet from my house. That has been set on fire once. I'm not saying anybody from the homeless did it. Everybody likes to construe everything. Our biggest concern is our neighborhood, our houses. I have a 9-year-old daughter. My neighbor across the street has a 7-year-old daughter. How are we gonna get the files of Megan's Law? I don't know who's staying at your shelter. I have no idea. Where do we get the public records to know who's staying in your shelter? Or do you have what's the word I'm looking for? A cutoff point for harsh felonies? What's your standards for misdemeanors? How high of a misdemeanor can you go? What are the records? Our neighborhood has no idea what is going on. We didn't even know this was even happening until we saw it on Facebook, 2 weeks before the council meeting. There was nothing brought into the neighborhood, and
I don't believe that when you're doing a zoning variance change of zoning, whatever it may be classified as, that 200 feet from that said property, especially, yet again, what is going into there is correct. That should be a 1,000-foot radius. I understand that's in the policies, and I understand wholeheartedly, but I think that is something that needs to be addressed as well. I, 12 years ago, had my house broken into twice in a week. My neighbors have had their houses broken into. Dr. Bites had properties broken into. Yet again, not saying it is those people. I have an inkling of who did mine. Won't go there. It's just, I know you looked up in the past 3 years, we haven't had anything happen in our neighborhood. There's also stuff that has happened in our neighborhood that we have not reported because it is a minuscule amount of stuff. Stuff coming up missing out of my neighbor's yard, out of my yard, out of our other neighbor's yard. And again, it's not stating that it is people that are taking stuff down to the test track or anything like that. I want security. I'm not paying to put security on my house. Why should I have to pay to secure my house? My doors are locked, my windows are locked. I understand it's a nationwide, worldwide issue with security. I have cameras, my neighbors have cameras. It's still the whole fact of the point that I shouldn't have to feel that I need to up my security to have anything in my neighborhood. So, in that stance, I feel that there should be public records brought to the people that are staying in your shelter that night should be posted on a site that we have access to. Not saying that it's to look at their background, it's not a HIPAA violation. I can go and look your address up right now on Google. It's not a HIPAA violation. I'm not asking for their personal preferences. I want to know what their criminal background is. I want to know if there's pedophiles staying in my neighborhood.
No, we can't release that to the public.
But you can the name, and I could look the name up then.
Right, if you would be privy to it if you were part of our organization, but it is a HIPAA violation once they.
How is it a HIPAA violation to release a name?
Once they sign in with us, we are.
I don't understand how it's a HIPAA violation to release a name. I'm not releasing personal records.
I don't believe it is a violation.
It's not a violation, you're not healthcare.
Now, if you put the record out, that's different.
That's what I'm saying, I'm not asking for their records. I wanna know who is staying in that shelter so I can look up and see if it is a Megan's Law offender.
Sure. So.
I'm putting all my trust into you guys, my wife, my daughter's
No, I
wife,
understand that.
into saying that there isn't a homicidal maniac sitting in that shelter. I don't give a shit what it, sorry, excuse my language. I don't care that you're saying, no, there's not.
No, I'm saying that I don't want there to be
Yeah,
that.
I know you guys don't want that. Your background checks don't go deep enough to know. You don't have background to police data or banks.
We're not running them now.
Neither does the cop.
Yeah,
We're
with the soup
compliant
kitchen.
and we're not running them now.
I'm not saying that, but you don't have them sleeping in the building.
No, but they're there with us all night, just not allowed to sleep.
So you're forcing people to stay awake?
Oh, yeah?
Because we're not zoned for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't have,
No,
Mr.
we're
Dawes,
gonna have this dialogue, one talk,
Right next to the
one
window.
listen.
Yeah, so you
Can I have your
generate
name?
your questions and then.
Me?
Yes.
I wasn't talking, but yeah, it's Gabby
well, you
Davenport.
made a statement, so.
Oh, did I?
What was that?
So I do
No,
wanna
important.
clarify.
Okay, if this keeps up,
Ian, C-O-R.
we will
Yes, I do.
put a halt to this, and only the main people will be in here.
Okay.
So you have the floor.
So yet again, my biggest concern is the elderly people. We have housing behind us, that has elderly people in it, solitary people. I have people that live all around me. We have empty houses, empty properties, whatever. I just wanna know that we're secure.
I
Good
wanna
concern.
answer one of your questions. In defense to the borough, do you read the Press Enterprise?
No.
Okay.
That's a
They
joke.
do post in a public notice, the hearings that are coming up.
I understand that.
No, I'm just saying, so
No,
there are notices.
But my mother-in-law worked for the Press Enterprise for 45 years. That press used to be one of the, everybody knows, it was the largest thing in God knows how many counties. Now they're lucky if they're selling 100 papers a month.
Well, it's online too, so.
I understand that.
But I'm just saying
the whole
that in
fact of the
defense-
point is you're putting people's, not saying it is, because I don't wanna get bashed on Facebook. You're putting people's lives in danger. And something
No, but
in
I
that-
just wanted to
Oh,
clarify.
and that's why I said, it's nothing
that's the
against anybody
notification.
that's sitting here, I understand it's in policies and that's how everything needs to go. But I think there needed to be stipulations set further, saying that maybe next year they move it from the Eagles to a different area. I think it needs to be broadened out.
Okay, I have a question then for Tracy, which maybe, do you?
Well, wait.
I'm not
I'm
going to
done.
answer
Yep,
his
I'm done.
question.
Yep,
Thank
I'm
you.
done. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, he's concerned about who's there. Do you have a log? Do they sign in? Do you have a log of every day who's in that, who's
Yeah.
signing into that? So
Yes.
there's a log.
Yes, and right now with the soup kitchen as it is, we don't have to do criminal background checks, we don't have to do Megan's Law, it's open to the public.
We're not saying what you have to
Right.
do.
Yeah.
We're saying we're trying to work with the neighbors
Sure.
and you guys.
Yes,
So
we do
we're
keep
trying to
record.
work everything out.
Oh, absolutely, they have a registration form, you mean, are you specifically asking
So,
during
yeah,
code
my
blue?
questions are for this, what you're asking for.
For the
So,
code, okay,
Will you have a register?
Yes.
To answer that question for the last person?
yes.
You'll have a register of, that anybody could look at?
And, no, and they have a, intake form also that they have to fill out extensively themselves.
So, and then we talked about prohibited client conduct
Mhm.
in when you gave
Yeah.
us. Do you check them, what they have on them?
We have,
For protection of the other people, like,
So we have the right to, I believe, and I would have to double check this, so I believe we have the right to call the police and ask them if we need them searched, but right now, we would just, it's basically, if we have the right to deny them if they come intoxicated under any substance, we have the right to deny them, and rightfully so, we don't want that responsibility on us.
no, I mean, just to protect your volunteers as
Sure,
well as the other
absolutely,
people. I just
yeah.
wondered how you would
Yeah.
handle that.
If they come like that, we would absolutely turn them away, offer them medical attention, an ambulance or whatever would be needed, but they can't come in there like that. Again,
What if they have something on them, like a knife or something, how do you handle that?
so last year, I can again say last year, is we told them what wasn't allowed, we asked them if they had any legal, pocket knives or such like that, and we would lock them up for them, but, we had one pocket knife last year, so,
Okay, just,
yeah.
it was
And we
something,
all know, basically 99% of the people, the men, carry pocket knives.
Mhm.
So
Right,
that's telling me they weren't coming forward with you.
yeah, I should say it was a more safety knife, it was more of a self-defense type of weapon, not a little pocket knife,
no, I just wondered how
Yeah.
that will be handled.
yeah.
Along with the log. Like I said, any questions I'm asking is not in regards to the past
Mhm.
or what you're doing now, it's the plan for the future and. the
Yeah,
show.
part of our rules and guidelines are they're not allowed to bring any illegal substances, weapons, any of the such on property. That is
And you
one
would
thing.
absolutely turn away a Megan's Law offender, that's.
Yes,
against them.
yes, we have, yeah.
I just think I think it's a concern of,
Mhm.
as I guess I call it loitering again. Like, there's gotta be a plan when you open the doors. Cause I think that's a big concern of the neighbors.
So, off the top of my head, I could, put together a list of resources to hand them of where are safe, warm places for them to go during the day, but most of them are aware of these. They don't just stand out in the street to be noticed, to be seen.
They talk
They
about the
go.
alley, so that's, and I'm
Right.
not familiar with
Yeah.
where the alley is at the moment, but.
Yeah,
they
yeah,
keep
I'm more
talking
than
about
willing
So,
to
in
accommodate with that.
essence, Once 8 o'clock turns around,
Mhm.
you guys wipe your hands of it.
I mean, yeah,
they
until
put it
8
down on the
p.m.
table, right?
Sure, yeah,
You're
until
done
8
with it.
p.m., yeah,
Now the neighbors have them.
right.
Or they go to work.
And I think
And
a
that's
big
where they are
concern.
right now. You have to understand that. That's where they are in our community, everywhere around us right now. You just don't know it. You don't know when you go to the Dollar Tree that one of our homeless community members has been an employee there for a few years, you wouldn't know that.
Can I say one thing about that? They're everywhere, they're spread out. Now they're gonna be right at our house, because we're in one spot.
Right.
You brought them all in one place. That's the difference. When you let them out of there, they're gonna stand here, they're gonna go in his yard, his yard, his yard, his yard, and that's what we're gonna deal with every day, 7 days a week.
I disagree.
I think we've
It's not your house, that's why.
a lot. Is there anybody that has anything new to add to the information? Yes, ma'am. You know the rules. Up and get sworn in.
Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give to be the truth and nothing but the truth? And your name?
Monique Harmon.
What was your last name?
Harmon, Harmon.
And just kind of speak up a little bit, you're soft spoken.
So I've been,
Please speak up.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm nervous, so I don't know if
No,
I can
don't
do
be
that.
nervous.
Don't be nervous. We don't eat anybody.
Yes, you have an intense, more intense than even the last meeting. So I've been, I have a house in the area, I'm moving back, I grew up in Pennsylvania, I lived in New York City, I lived in New Jersey. I've worked at homeless shelters, that's what I've done, I'm a social worker. So as a social worker, if the days that I'm volunteering, I can't give out somebody's names, that's a violation of my code of ethics, right? As are a lot of the volunteers. So that's something which, there is ways around that, so that's something that as a community, we can come together and figure out ways around it. Maybe if they give their consent to do that, like, there's ways around that, but, you know, it's not just like, and I know people are saying like maybe she answered questions differently. It's really confusing right now because there's a soup kitchen right now that's active right now, right? When I come to town, I stay here part of the week and part of the week in New Jersey. I've been volunteering with them. At the soup kitchen, right now the community is in more danger than they would be if it was a code blue, because right now the people come and go, we can't say anything to them, we can't say, no, you have to say, if they wanna go rob one of your houses, we can't say.
Hey,
This is-
excuse,
this is with the
address
soup
it to
kitchen.
me.
Sorry, with the soup kitchen, there's no rules, they can come and go all night long. So the code blue shelter is protecting the community, cause right now in that area, there's already a soup kitchen running, it's already allowed, it's already happening.
We
And
know
that, the people thinking that she answered questions differently, it's because it's confusing, because there's two things happening, and the case management with CRC, so they have three things going on right now, so the questions that he was saying about, didn't make sense, or maybe she was lying, it's confusing because there's so much happening. Having a code blue shelter, and then also a lot of people, even in the comments online, so you guys are upset about comments online, but they've been getting them too from everybody, it's going both ways. That's the way our world is right now, which is not good, and I'm glad it was addressed so we don't continue that type of behavior, because we're all adults. Every single one of these people have been having the homeless people sleeping in their house right now, that's what's happening. Every night they've been having homeless people sleeping in their house. When they're leaving and there's people that are exhausted, because all the cots are stacked up there, and we have to sit there and watch them and make sure they don't sleep. Now, when you have people who are not sleeping, right, that's when crazy things
I
happen.
really don't think you wanna stand there and scold us.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not.
I
you want me to
really
talk
don't
about-
believe that is the approach you should be having.
I'm passionate, it's not scolding. I
Maybe
can't-
in New
I'm
Jersey,
sorry.
that's how you do it. We don't do it here. Now, please
I
continue.
apologize, I was not trying to come off that way. I'm getting, like, when I'm nervous, it's either too low or too high. So it's not anything personal.
Ms. Harmon, can I ask you address? You mentioned you have a local address.
316 East 11th Street.
Thank you.
The other night, right, I was gonna bring people back to my house, right? Some of them ended up having somewhere to go. There was a red car in the driveway of the soup kitchen. When I showed up there, the car was running, like it was running. I'm an environmental person, so I do not like pollution and stuff like that, so I came in and I didn't really say anything, I went back out and I was there for hours, and then I went to the volunteers, I'm like, there's a car running out there, and I didn't see anyone in it. So I went to look to like tell them to turn off their car. Do you know, I can't say who it is or anything, but the person in that car was a person who had long COVID, who has been struggling with health issues for months, really for years. recently lost a job, right? Got behind on rent, is a person that's never been homeless in their life, never thought they would ever be homeless, nothing. They ended up being homeless, right? And they had work in Hazelton early in the morning. So they did not want to come into shelter all night because they can't sleep. So they're in their car, letting their car run, turning their car off, turning it back on all night. Do you know what the temperature was? It was 13 degrees that night. Just me walking outside to my car when I was coming in and out was like the skin, the cold burns your skin. And there's a person who does have a job that just needs to get sleep, that is in their car with their car running, which is an environmental hazard to have a car running all night. Just because we're not allowed to use the cots that are piled up there, they're right there. We're not allowed to use them?
Rules are rules, man.
I'm just saying the community, not you, directly. I'm just trying to make a point that, like, these are people that we wanna get them help. How can we get people help when they can't sleep all night long if they stay in the soup kitchen? They are not allowed to sleep. How are they supposed to keep a job or get a job if they're not allowed to even sleep inside of the soup kitchen, which is what, if this doesn't get passed, all we have is a soup kitchen that they're not allowed to sleep. It's just like, I said this at the last meeting. We are all a lot closer than we think to homelessness. People have medical emergencies, the way the insurance industry is a predatory system right now, we're all a lot closer to being homeless than a lot of, like, especially our community too. Things are tough here. And then I made this point at the last meeting. I know no one wants it in their community, right? If we had another alternative that was away from everybody, that would definitely happen. They're just, unless somebody can come up with another location, until then, you know, this is all we have right now. But right now, all these people are running through our entire community. I don't know what is happening, what crimes are done by people that are homeless, what crimes are just done by people that in our town that have addiction issues, right? When we get them all together in one building every night and are doing case management with them, helping them apply for jobs, helping them get into drug and alcohol treatment centers, helping them get the medication and the mental health that they need. That's how we help our community, by getting them together to get them resources. Right now, they're all just spread out everywhere, doing whatever they wanna do. We have no control, we have no eyes on them.
Okay, but on that token, how do we take care of that person that is right next to them, that has worked their whole life, has a place, wants to protect it? What do we do about them?
So.
Do we forget about them?
I'm not asking that we forget about anybody. Something that I've proposed, and I have to come up with a whole plan for it, but that's why I came to this meeting to bring that up. You know, Patrick mentioned here, and he has cameras. I wanted to do a fundraiser for the community that's in that area. I would do a fundraiser to raise money to get people like Ring cameras on their houses, just to give them an extra level of protection, especially for like older people or people who are alone. You know, raise the money to help buy them cameras. I'll even buy a bunch of them myself to help. Like, I don't want anyone, we're not trying to be like, oh, we want to throw this problem on you guys. If there was anywhere else, it would be somewhere else. If we could have a building built in the middle of the woods, we would. But we're not, no one's asking for taxpayer dollars. If taxpayer dollars were going into this, maybe we would have funding for a building. No one's asking for any funding from the community. It is completely self-funded. So right now, the building that they have is what they have. Say this is a success story, right? Everyone's just thinking of all the bad things that could happen. What about the good things that could happen for this community? We are getting our people that are struggling with severe mental illness. We're getting eyes on them. They're not just sitting in someone's garage, breaking into people's garages trying to stay warm. We have eyes on them. We're gonna know, do they need to go be 302? You know, we can see, we can stop a lot of issues before they actually happen for our whole community. And then it's not just for the homeless population. Like, when I've been there, there's been people that have homes that have been coming in there, their heat's not working. All of our bills are going up so much, things break. You know, my grandfather ran a heating and air conditioning business. A lot of times when people would have no heat, he would go on his own time in the middle of the night and fix their heat. We don't have a lot of family-owned businesses.
Appreciate that.
We don't have family-owned businesses anymore. It's all big companies now, so they're not gonna go and help people in the middle of the night for free if it's an older person that can't pay their bill. So women and children, older people, everyone would be welcome to come there and get warm. And then also, like, I know everyone's persecuting her because there's not a lot of plan for when they leave the shelter. We need to come together as a whole town and make these resources. And then also, the whole thing of like, oh, we had a whole year to figure this out. This is two separate, yeah, some of these people volunteered with the other group, but they were volunteers, they weren't responsible for creating a whole program like they just quickly tried to do. All this has happened quick because they thought that the other building that was used was gonna get the things done to make it up to code, and that person did not do that. So that's why there was a couple weeks of scrambling to make it work. In New Jersey, a lot of the shelters didn't get approved until people died. Do people have to die first? Is that where we're at?
You know, we're not here to discuss New Jersey. And I don't think anybody here, and I really take offense to it, wants to see anybody die of anything.
And we are not persecuting anyone.
We haven't, and I think we've been very open.
We're just trying to, we represent the borough, the community.
And
We're
the
looking out for
neighbors
the
and you
interests
guys.
of the
We
total
represent
community.
every entity.
I wasn't directing it, like, you guys won't let me talk this way. This is the way I wanna talk. I would
Yeah,
prefer to
no.
talk this way, but I'm not allowed, so that's why I'm talking towards you. So it's not, I don't even know any of you guys. I haven't been to a zoning hearing. And I'm not even mad at them, I'm just,
Yeah. No, we're just saying, when you said that
sorry.
we're not. We're
No,
just
like,
trying to.
No, not you guys. Like, you know, with him saying that things weren't true and that maybe that she's lying, things like that are the
Yeah,
things
no,
I'm
we're
talking
here to
about.
listen.
We're listening
and
to
make
every
a decision.
I would think
I
it's
think
fair to say that you don't make decisions without asking questions, correct? Right? And I would think that those questions that we would ask, and what we have asked have been very fair, right? Like, you would wanna know the difference between a homeless shelter
Yeah.
and a code blue shelter. Two different things, right? No one is saying, and I mean no one, is saying that there is not a need. What we're saying is, let's figure out a way to make it work, right? So, we move this along.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to use the bathroom soon. Sorry.
Thank you, very helpful.
Thank you. I'll give you one, you
That's
had
okay.
something to say.
That's okay,
Okay.
it's addressed.
Do we have any, yeah, we don't wanna hurt you. Do we have
Sorry,
any new input? Yes, sir.
I can be quick, it's just something I forgot to say earlier.
Swear in?
He already
Yeah,
did.
he already did.
Can you just repeat your name again?
Robert Boyer. When we found everything out, we were scrambling to put something together within a week prior to that permit being filled out, our application being filled out. One idea I had, we were worried that when Larry Frey suspected the building with the bathroom being connected, and one idea I had was, dropping a couple of porta potties outside. And then the bar could be totally isolated if it's an issue. But he apparently didn't see it being a codes issue, I'm guessing. It's more of a concern on your end with commingling business with people, but.
I think it would be more of a liquor liability issue to the Eagle Host. From a bar owner standpoint, you have people that can go into a bar, this is a club. So you're non-members of the club that can enter a club through a different way. So we're looking out for not only the neighbors, the club itself.
Well, they can enter the club as long as they're not served alcohol.
Right, but you know what I'm saying.
No, I know.
Like, the LCB comes in, and you know as well as I do, you have to show your card. They don't have a card, they're in the bar is at fault, right? It's the way it is. So regardless of whether they have alcohol or not, they're in the bar, they shouldn't be in the bar.
Well, that's why
They're
I'm
not
bringing.
signed in,
And
you
one
know?
reason I'm bringing this up now, is
But
that
I
that
don't
is
think
an
it was a
option.
problem, Ron. I really don't think that was a huge problem. If you've been doing it before, I don't think it's that big a problem. We just have to ask questions.
Yeah.
But to protect yourself, Eagle Host, you might wanna really look into that. You know, you don't want anybody to be able to access that bar. It will be a liquor liability issue. From a club standpoint.
And the other thing that, the whole soup kitchen thing, basically when we were scrambling around, it was an idea to keep people warm. That's how that started. I just wanted everyone to know that it was basically to try to accomplish the goal of not letting them freeze to death as much as we were allowed to do with what we had to work with.
Absolutely, it's a good idea. I like the idea. You have a place for people to go that need food, you know? I don't dislike the idea of your shelter. I dislike the idea of calling it a code blue shelter when it's not a code blue shelter. If you want to have a homeless shelter with the rules and regulations you set, then call it a homeless shelter.
But it's only gonna operate during winter months.
It's, right, well, technically it could be 70 degrees in April. You know, code blue shelters are 32 degrees to 40 degrees, and everything I looked at, that's what they are.
No, excuse me.
Okay, wait, that's what they are. So what you did was you extended a great thing for people when they really, really need it at that point, right? That is a life or death situation. You're extending it for a quarter. And that is probably what is going to get the neighbors a little bit up in arms. Because it's every day, not just when there's a threat of someone dying from exposure or a threat. I mean, you could set it at 38 degrees, you could set it at 40 degrees, fine. But I think what you're doing is a good thing. I just think I don't think you thought it out well when it comes to those rules, when you're gonna be open, how you're going to keep it staffed you're talking 7 days a week for 4 months. And what happens next year, it's gonna be late October, early November, we can have snow. So just try to I would say, if it were my business plan, because it would be a business, really, you might not be making money, you may be all volunteers, but you need a business plan. What are those things? When is the shelter going to be open? Can we truly staff it? Are we going to have the people? Is it only going to be one? When is the burnout point for these people that are volunteering all the time? You and your sister can't do it 7 days a week. Split all those hours. Those are all reasons why a business would fail in the first 6 months. Like, think it through. Start out slow, maybe grow. I don't know, but I think it's a great idea. I think you're starting off big. And I hate the idea that you lose the soup kitchen. I really do. I think.
Yeah, and the soup kitchen thing, I think, is the thing we didn't think through much. It was more of a spur of the moment, let's do it. And now, thinking back right now, what I worry about is not allowing them to sleep, lets them roam around the neighborhood. I mean, I don't know if they've caused any issues, the neighbors would, but.
Right, but you can't police everything, and that's why we have police.
Exactly.
Right, so,
But that's
I mean,
what
some
worries
of the
me.
things that are brought up are also, you know, a police issue.
There's valid concerns on both sides.
Yeah,
Yes.
there is, there really is.
My question is, because it seems to be the big question, in the application, it's asking for a temporary warming shelter. In the request, it's again saying special exception, proposed emergency shelter use. And then it's saying request for code blue. What is it going to be, I guess, is my question. And I'm asking our solicitor, with everything we have in the application, what are they asking for?
This sounds to me more like a seasonal homeless shelter, in my opinion.
Okay, so code blue really isn't, the application says a temporary warming shelter, not code blue. So that's what I'm, like, let's determine what it is. Yeah.
You know the code, you know the rules.
Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give to be the truth and nothing but the truth?
I do.
And your name?
Damien.
Oh, hold on.
Another one. Come on.
It's like we're back
Can I
in the
spell my name
70s
Go.
already.
Yeah, no, you just.
Am I allowed to spell my name out today?
Okay.
Get a
5-minute break.
ENSCOB LIN.
Now everybody.
Oops, 5-minute break.
I can get you a cup of water from the cooler.
No, I get it. I'm the same way. I'm the same way. I'm sorry, like way too hard to do that. You got some No, you did. Like I said.
I don't know what's stealing this from other ones.
Guys, I don't know, so aggressive. You were. You I don't want to turn around and let it face to my face. Yeah, right?
Well, good Lord fix it for me, because I myself sat me down and
Okay, I have no habit of heart.
Where's she going? Well, we did that. I smelled some smoke in the hallway. I'm trying Hey, Chuck.
yeah.
Look at that. For what? I was hoping to get one of my credit. I still like say wait for the first drive or two these days, but I mean, look
I got Luca and I got Jesse going with these fantasy league games.
Luca, you got hurt last year.
yeah. Constantly backed up. The bigger thing was he said a few stupid things in a
Luca did.
yeah.
Was this after last week's
I didn't see I don't know.
I'm a Niners fan. We're still hanging out there.
Not bad idea.
I think Darnold would be
I thought that was a flash of hand last year.
I think it's just a Jefferson. Yeah. But he's been a star. That was a good receiver. Yeah, but now he's number one.
Would still bring
He's at like 1,700 something.
yeah. Like he has to get hot in the last couple of games, but it's within the realms.
That was a cheap back. You're not part of the story.
Yeah, I can't.
Sure.
I saw that already. Thank you.
That's why we invite you.
Well, you, Jerry,
Yeah, that's the only reason.
over there.
Thank you for the delay.
I gotta go to the bathroom now. So I just wanted to give some clarification. I want to answer this because I want to make sure we're fair to them with their application as far as, the definition of code blue from them. Last year, and I realize this was not the same group, but it was a number of the same people who were involved. They came to council and they asked for the emergency granting, and council granted it, and there was some conversation on, what was going to constitute code blue. And it was talked around a little bit, and I was not prepared to say this, so please don't 100% quote me on exactly how this was said, but broad latitude was given as far as calling the code blue and saying, 32 degrees, obviously you can still get really cold above 32 degrees, so 45-ish was kind of thrown around. The idea of going till at least the end of March was what was given. So, and I don't want to speak for them, and I don't want to 100% say this is why they're coming with that, but that was kind of the rules that were put in place last year, and I have to imagine that was used as a starting point for this. I believe from my conversations with them that they would defer to if this board wants to grant different stipulations to make it be code blue and not just a seasonal shelter. I sincerely think they would play by whatever rules you gave, but I understand where you're coming from, because when you just broadly say that, it does kind of sound like, 32 is definitely really cold, 36 is still definitely really cold, 40 is cold, but where is that life-threatening line? I'm glad I don't make that decision. I don't envy any of you making the decision tonight. I didn't envy council a couple weeks ago having to be the ones to not say yes. It's tough. It's always a tough call. But I just want to be fair to them that as they were preparing this, I sincerely believe that it was based off what council had given as an emergency allowance last season. So again, I expect that the 5 of you, if you approve this, are going to make your stipulations, and maybe it's 45 degrees or until the end of March, or maybe it is, 32 or 36 or 40. I mean, in Bloomsburg, at least last year, it was that the mayor had to call code blue, whereas council here said, we don't want to be making it, checking the temperature every single night, so yeah, it's probably okay. It's not going to be a cookie cutter thing across the board. There should be some level of what the rules are going to be, but again, their defense, I think the reason for that was that it was the rules that they were given or that the other group was given last year, and that they're largely sticking to. And then one other thing I kind of want to throw out there, and maybe I shouldn't say this out loud, and maybe Chief Rafferty will hate me when he finds out that I do say it, but we're talking about safety, and I'm a little iffy on whether it's actually a HIPAA thing or not, but it is a privacy thing, right? And so they can be privacy without being strictly HIPAA. If this group is willing, I have to imagine that if, on a, maybe not nightly, but a consistent basis, like, hey, police, these are the names we have. Is there anything that your more extensive search turns up that our more limited one isn't, would be an option. And, at the end of the day, again, I'm not the police department, I don't have oversight of the police department, but I also think that, Chief Rafferty agrees that it's necessary that we do something to save lives. And I think you all, again, no one here wants to see anyone die. And,
So will you make that request?
I would be willing to make that request, that, if that's part of what this board says, if they want to see that happen, I can talk to the Chief Rafferty, first thing tomorrow morning and go, if you really want me to, I can call him tonight, but I don't wait for the kids, it's getting kind of late here. That can certainly be part of it if that's the way the board would feel more comfortable. And again, I don't want to speak for you. I don't know if you're willing to turn that over to police or not, and I don't know if, they can make that part of the stipulation.
Yeah.
And obviously, police have their rules too. I mean, they're not going to just get out information willy-nilly, but it kind of, sorry, I didn't mean to address the audience, but it kind of finds a middle ground between, we're not going to give everybody in the neighborhood the name of every single person that's there, but we can let everybody in the neighborhood know police ran every single name. Just a thought, obviously, end of the day, your call, and sincerely, I don't envy the position that you're in, having to make that call and find that, because it's hard to balance the, I think everyone recognizes it's hard to balance the good of everyone, and I think you all like that, so I applaud that you're willing to serve for everyone, so thank you.
No, thank you.
Thank
And
you.
I believe in what you're saying. I think everybody here, we all care about the same thing, but we do care about everybody. And so we have everybody's interest.
Absolutely, and again, that's why I said, I told Tracy after that last meeting, like, I was glad that I wasn't on council to have to make that vote, because my head and my heart were saying very different things, so, it's tough.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, I'm interested, so, Mr. Doss, Mr. Miller, Dr. Bites, how do you feel after Mr. Scobie makes mention that how does that change your attitude towards it?
When somebody new came in there, police don't get a chance to run the background check. How's that gonna work?
Okay, I'm just asking.
So I'm just saying, that's one thing, yeah.
What is your reaction to that comment?
I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think there's people in there, take it the wrong way. They might be mentally unstable, fine one day, the next day not. You don't know who's going in and out of there. I don't know who's going in and out of there. New people come in there the next day, and there's a new person, they didn't check this guy out. But just whatever they have to check him out, the police didn't check it out. Well, that don't fly.
My concern would be the turnaround time by the police force. I understand this is a small town, I understand that this is a small force. Case in point, for our last break-in, it took 2 days for me to get an officer on site. So I would fear that depending on what is going on, possibly that turnaround time on that reporting could be slower than what we as property owners in the area are going to be comfortable with.
Thank you.
I have one remark, yeah, and one question directed towards you guys. Who would you have to make sure that they are following the stipulations you set forward? Is he gonna go out at 8 o'clock at night every night to make sure, or at 10 o'clock every night to make sure that the doors are locked and everybody's in?
I'm not in the town at 8 o'clock or 10 o'clock at night.
Exactly, then who's gonna, we were at the council meeting 2 weeks ago, whatever it was, I don't remember. It was stated by Chief Rafferty and everybody in the council that we are supposed to have 16 officers. We have 10. Everybody says we're a small town. That small town covers a severe amount of square footage and square miles for 10 cops. We're not housing all 10 cops on per shift, every shift. What's our average, 3 cops per shift with a floater?
Probably stretching it to get 3 on a shift.
Exactly. You're covering, I don't know exactly what our, but we're probably 60 square miles of town that they have to cover.
At one time I knew how many miles of streets there were, and I don't remember.
But it's the whole fact of the point that you guys are stretched thin as it is. That was one of my biggest concerns, especially when it was brought up that there was only 10 cops, 2 on workman's comp. I mean.
What's the common ground, Pat?
What's that?
What's the common ground?
Being.
What is the common ground between what they want to do and what is acceptable for the neighbors? Because we can sit here.
Oh, I know.
throw out
It's
ideas.
entirely falls on you guys. I mean,
In
if you
your
guys say
mind,
no, they're gonna be mad. If you guys say yes, we may be mad. I mean,
you know
it's.
me, it's not
But we
gonna.
can put
I know.
conditions.
We can put conditions, so what is the common ground?
I think the biggest thing is who's gonna enforce the stipulations?
Can you answer who's going to enforce the stipulations?
I'm sorry, that's actually us, that's what
Well, that shouldn't be. I don't know you from
Sure,
Adam.
I
That shouldn't
understand
be-
that.
that should be
Wait.
something-
One at a time.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Thank you.
so, that's what we are asking to do as a nonprofit, of course, that's what our responsibility would be to do. And I can't speak for Chief Rafferty and his turnaround with, giving him the list, but I can tell you that, yes, we're willing to do that, and, once Damien gets to talk to him, obviously we'll find out what kind of, maybe he can give us an estimate on a timeline of how often, or something. We can't approach that until we approach it, but last year they did drive-bys every night for us, and we never had to have them come in. I'm sorry, one day, they came in because CVS had a shoplifter, not us. So, I mean, I do understand the neighbors' concerns. I think that, the experience that we have with it so far it really truly is a place for them to sleep, to get some rest, to not freeze to death at night. It's not a party central, it's not somewhere that they're gonna be causing riffraff. They come there to seek shelter. And that is our responsibility for our nonprofit to take that on when we offer to.
Okay, you just said a word, that's your responsibility.
Mhm.
It's our responsibility to look out for the community. So, when the decision is made, whichever side it goes, I hope everybody understands, we honestly care. Because we're all residents of the borough of Berwick. I'm not saying all the homeless people that come to your shelter are residents of the borough of Berwick. We are. We do look out for the community.
Okay, so I have another question.
Yes.
Again, the same question. What are we approving or disapproving? A code blue or
Or a homeless
a temporary warming shelter?
It seems like there's a lot of things in this.
I need that answered.
Like thrown against the wall, and we're supposed to decide which one, or which has the better chance of surviving. I'm not sure.
Okay, I'm just trying, because I'm trying to see what they're asking for approval of.
They're asking for approval of both,
Okay.
I think.
That-
I mean, the application says a temporary warming shelter.
Yeah, that's, I'm just trying to determine what are we,
But then
Voting
temporary,
on.
then temporary would be from now until.
The seasonal
April
part.
1st. So it becomes a seasonal,
so then, right, so.
At the
code-
most, that's
right, so.
the temporary.
So I guess the question would be, how do we feel about it? Is it, should we approve from now, and tell me if I'm wrong? So I'm looking at it until April 1st, or do we approve a shelter with, like, okay, it's gonna be this amount of, or it has to be this many degrees, this much snow, this much whatever, how do you do that?
Well, I think number one, it's harder to manage a code blue versus knowing it's open from this date to April 1st, because you could have people, homeless people coming, thinking, they may not know the exact temperature, thinking they're going for shelter, and it's not open. So then you have the same thing, lingering around the area. My feeling, if it's approved, it should be approved for the whole term. That's just my feeling.
So that's good, but then we have to, like you said, we have to know what we're approving.
Right, so that's what we have to determine. What
That's
are
where we're
we-
gonna turn to the young man in the.
They're asking for a
Either or.
temporary warming shelter, that's not, to me, that's not a code blue, it's like a seasonal shelter. That's how I interpret that.
Okay, that's how we're gonna address it.
Can I ask
The young lady.
Yes, so Damien was correct. I did specify in the paperwork both, because that is how it ran last year, and I was giving you guys the liberty at whatever you're more comfortable with choosing. If you want us to choose, we'll gladly say a temperature. I mean, either or, we're just looking to offer a safe place at night. To us, a homeless shelter is 24/7, even if it's temporary. That is around the clock. However, different organizations do offer different temperatures for Code Blue. There is not one set temperature nationwide. It's different municipalities with different organizations that have the volunteers to run it that choose that. So we are absolutely willing to work with you on what you decide is more flexible, more, what would make you happier for the community too, and less of a headache for you guys.
Well, no, I wanted to make sure we were doing it correctly in
Sure.
regards to our solicitor asking
Yeah.
in regards to how the paperwork was filled out as to what we were to vote on.
Right, and my concern is the volunteers. What is considered a Code Blue shelter run by Agape and Bloom is
Mhm.
begging for volunteers. And they're only open when it's, at a certain degree. So if we approve this, are you going to have the volunteers to be able to
Yes.
staff for 4 months?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Let's go from here. We've been here for over 2 hours. I think anything that had to be said has been said. I think we will be setting guidelines, one way or another. Either it's gonna be a no or a yes with guidelines. With the guidelines, if you fail to go with the guidelines, then it's gonna be Kurt's job to shut it down. Okay? Think a minute, you guys. Mr. Solicitor, is there anything else I should be addressing?
We could table it to clarify some of the
I was
specifics.
gonna ask if we can go to private session for a few minutes, is that possible?
Oh, it's
Or do we
possible.
need- Do they have to pay? I mean, we're talking, it's winter now.
Yeah,
We
exactly.
can't table this for another month, then you might as well just.
Let's take 5 minutes, we're going in the office.
I know. There's such a word about a loved one in the elderly, 72 years old, can volunteer.
Here's some names, run 'em.
And I'm a nurse. You know, I don't have any problems with the other people at all, ever.
I know.
I know, he did a great job.
I know where you're at, trust me, I do.
Too much.
Yeah. We just had the wrong terminology from last year. Right, right. To give them. Right.
Yes. It's all your volunteering on both days. And you know, where I live, it's snowing. Back in Berwick.
Oh, yeah, that means it's like every 5 minutes, like America, not Egypt.
We're never gonna.
We're hurting the kids.
Full-blown proof there's absolutely no 100%
I think, yeah, depending on, I know what she's
gonna
gonna
fight it.
If it wasn't that, she would.
I wasn't here for the
She
first
knows.
fight.
I mean,
I was here for the fallout. And I was at the point where I was like, let's try working on something building. So I said, we're not gonna fight. If they want their properties to be designated as,
I just heard Robert was able to.
Were the grants out to them?
Were they doing that review tonight, or were they?
So their properties.
They were doing the final with the other outside.
I'm not sure.
I'm hoping it was tonight, so they can get the money. Because we have a very aggressive plan for next year, which I'm very excited about. We have most of it.
Yeah, they're working with some.
No, I mean, I
Get things like compromise.
I feel bad for all the stuff that
Actually, but set access to get down to without it being like a mess and.
No, not tonight, it's not. No, it's good.
Rough idea of what I need to make.
I said I would.
Oh, yeah? It's realistic. That's for sign, I'm just gonna walk the way. I think we're gonna move them into the drivers.
There you go.
Oh, is it only one? I guess it's locked.
Yeah, the pink blanket. It's all by itself.
Geez, I was trying to join you in the bathroom.
We're gonna let you pick up.
Let's do it anyway, and.
I won't go at all.
Yeah.
I don't want to jump on.
Listen, when you don't have any other choice.
I have a nursing home.
Oh, well, that helps.
Yeah, all sorts of, but the first time it was.
12-hour shifts, you don't go. Oh my
I've
gosh.
done that too.
I think that might actually previous vacated.
Oh my gosh.
Spotty at best. I don't know, a target
There was-
range for what it might have
I
happened.
worked in ICU, and it was just like, we just did not. We'd go in the break room and drink our coffee, so our one surgeon,
I'd have to pay for that.
our one surgeon, he bought us a coffee pot, and he always kept us dinner and coffee, you know? But, I was drinking that all the time. But we had
I haven't seen the final.
I'm squeezing behind you, obviously.
Yeah, that was always, you get to know your kids where you just go to the bathroom and sit down, and they go in there. They were not lost then.
There was a question of whether some pieces had actually used
Oh, boy. Oh. I guess
Nobody.
Nobody.
There's a kid taking big bags of Russian cans down there to same so we can't have to make money. Russian cans down Deckers.
It just frustrates me too, that we have some code controls last year, and we have all summer long. See that that needs to get us all
Remember that part, but I'm not saying it wasn't.
We didn't know until we were blindsided us 3 weeks before the break.
Operating the scrap yards.
If Frank would have done his building, right, it should have said he was in 8 years.
First of all, like sticking out of your chest. You listen to the news. Right away, anything.
Every day.
So it's like, I said that to somebody you know. You're asking me this, whatever, we'll do it. So, yeah, I don't want to lose this falls apart.
Questioning.
Yeah, that house is
Down there, I don't know. Police were there.
I wonder if it got robbed or something.
A robbery down there.
Or there was.
Or something. Well, no, they were blocking the entrance.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, the Goodwill.
Today?
No,
yesterday.
yesterday.
And like there was smoke.
It was fire. Yeah, that maybe was in their system.
Please go to those things too. I mean, I don't know if they were back open or not, but I think it was,
Probably have to air it all out.
You can just.
Oh, really?
that's what, I did see something about zoning, but I didn't realize it was the gas station. That's the only one in that town too.
You missed this window, don't
It's on the news
Oh, the family. The husband, the wife, and the two kids. Oh, really? But Greg, Greg talked about the NASCAR driver, Greg, Billy.
Maybe in the future. There's some interesting stuff that can happen down there, but besides general part, it's also gonna be like grand funding too.
So there was Riverside access, like train family like that, so that you were, instead of just camping on island, doing the.
You could actually get out.
You could get out, you could like camp on the fence, I want everybody to rent a room on the train station, I think that's.
Not just how sound that can also so that's why it's a river trail.
This poor guy is so sad. That's Tom's dad. Just can't. Greater Alligator Pass in Missouri. We were riding right alongside
Yeah,
with
we had to give me this nonsense that we could. We can have a trail.
So, well, there was probably fenced off, of course we were fenced off. And there was an active freight yards in Pittsburgh, that their trail was right by.
My great-granddaughter's worth had chiropractic treatment tonight.
What? Be safer to actually have a trail
Oh,
that.
yeah. This horse gets chiropractors and acupuncture.
Off the rails.
Seriously?
Off the rails on the railway.
Absolutely. Absolutely. He took this horse, you know? Well, and she just had private lessons last night. And here, she was going through poles. And took pictures of poles. The dumb horse's girth wasn't even like, she just had such a good seat in her. Oh, wow.
Also is something that's
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like,
Yeah, and she sits in that, the saddle is custom made for her.
have a lot more.
It fits her little tushy.
very well.
Yes. Yes.
So, we're working on it.
Find the video. My grandson Darian is going to Turkey. He's in the Air Force. He's still and he's going.
Oh, no, I get what you're saying.
He's down in North Carolina right now. So Korea, South Korea. My other nephew who's Korea, they lived over there. You can see they're showing her private lesson. See, the girth is loose, Yeah, yeah. Here she is, this is where she was riding through the poles, and the girth was completely loose the whole time. And she stayed.
That's how comfortable the horse is with her.
Oh, yeah. They are so bonded.
That's super.
Yeah. Bring her home. Yep. And then the instructor goes, oh my God, your bird is loose the whole time. What the heck? How did you even stay on there?
And nobody took notice of it all the time.
Not until the very end.
Oh, okay.
So 12 to 7 is 7. 11 to 12 is 7.
He did nothing.
You know, we have,
He applied.
Usually it's
Denise Whitmire, she's an RN, she's and they want to volunteer too, every so often, so. And her sister.
It needs to be overlap, I'm just not sure if it needs to be morning or if it needs to be second or third. Usually second or third is when you need most of the it's communication. First, first is gonna be Jenny and Cy, everyone knows I'm there. You've got the most people there. Second and third is always your
No, I think they would.
And then you start the classes the second. Did you get approval? You got approval, but when, and you're gonna do the Arizona one in February?
I gotta step up and feed my horse yet.
Oh my gosh.
Remember,
Again.
away in February.
Twice a day.
February that you're going for.
We had funerals at night, you know, we hollered all night long, the way you got ready and went up to bed.
Really? Yeah.
I don't know how she start out, she went out and back field, cops would call and say, Sam, guess where Coco's at?
Well, my neighbor down off from where I live, he goes, Sue, your horse is down here. Oh, okay. Because oh yeah.
Like coming through, they keep like go over Jonestown and that way.
oh, I know where
Reached
you're.
out for many years, but right there was two of them in a field. I used to live in that and I worked at Berwick Borough.
Okay.
I can't tell you how many nights I came running there.
Where did you work in the nursing home? When? How long ago?
I mean, what is the, what does the?
I can't tell you how many
North
times I
Wing?
came through there. No, I was on
Still
church.
says
Okay.
township.
I love it.
I did sex pool there.
Yeah, at some point, like,
I can't tell you how many nights I came through there.
And the Olympic podium only has one.
It's just long.
Long horse.
Standing in the middle of the road.
Oh my God.
You don't take
My husband, I went to pick him up and I said,
You originally told me.
he ran up in his ear last night, and he looked at me and he started laughing. He goes, "You're a cow." I said, "You're a cow."
I'm not.
I said, "Was the cow okay?" I was more worried about the cow. He goes, "Well, do you see Pap's truck?" Yeah, I see Pap's truck.
Well, I lived in the country all my life, and I never been deer until I had my brother-in-law's car. It comes down off the bank, it hits me. And I thought I killed it, so I turned, and I called first, I couldn't get my door open. So I'm calling my good friend. I'm coming to your house, you gotta get my door open so I can get out. And then as I'm going back down through, there's the deer sitting upright like this. And I go, oh.
Is it still rolling? Probably broke his legs.
Oh, well, so I said to Dave, I said, can you come up and shoot this deer and put it out of its misery? So they were coming back to put the deer out of its misery.
It was calm.
No, it came up, he went to walk up to it, and he had a.
Yeah.
But he did enough damage to the car, or his
Yeah,
car.
they do. They do.
And you walk away from it.
Yep.
But he's taking a picture.
I see it.
Take a picture of the police.
Yes, but I was holding the keys like this, and then I shook it, and she goes, and smiles to the camera like, oh, the keys, because I'm holding the keys and I jingle for her. Like,
Oh my God.
Hi,
How are you?
That's good.
I think I'm good.
Yeah.
I started to feel better with this cough and cold and everything. This went, I was to the doctor, and it just fine. Now I'm settled back down in my chest again.
I blame the dryness. Doesn't help it.
I have the camera, I have the camera on my phone.
Yeah, see, it's getting toasty in here now.
You're right,
Go in that bathroom, it's really warm.
Oh my God, yeah, it is. I'm sleeping there now. Well, just imagine.
Actually, I do notice it's good because I do have actually.
Sorry. I just slept. I don't know, actually.
There's some offices over at the press, we have to put on your jacket before you go.
You know, it's sad because we did, there was not one incident up at the other one, Frank's.
Only if it was all Frank.
Yeah. Burn. It was nothing. And, you know, when Bruce first started coming, he had his foot down on himself, and I was like,
I don't have the house.
I made,
Yeah, here it is.
I made turkey the other night, and so I'm gonna find out. Yeah, what, they came up to have, that meal, and then I took them back to Orangeville. And you can see. And like he's one of our successes.
It's a herring.
He was Army Air Force veteran, homeless. We're working on getting his Social Security, working on. Those men are sloppy, they don't know how to.
That was shared.
He did.
I did, yeah.
I can't look at anything right now because it's not hard.
No, here, I'll show you.
So you're not sending him a list every day, he has to go and actually confirm it on the camera.
Right here.
And we
Literally have him around.
Yep, I did read that earlier. Maybe realistic, you know?
She's got the skill set to do it, I don't know how she's gonna like having to do it without help. That's my concern.
Did you look at my picture? Did you see what we have and what they're looking for?
Yeah, I saw this back when Tom requested more.
But she's also a person who, if someone gonna do the heavy lifting, she's gonna
It's
like.
the same thing. No, it's not. Never mind.
Yeah.
So they don't harass our homeless people like that? Wait.
That's what I tell you to shut up. You don't listen. Guys eating or nothing?
I didn't say shit.
Yeah, see, I got 20, just my Facebook, but I tagged you to that.
Yeah, and I shared it.
Yeah, I wasn't.
You are shared.
But that, December 1st, I shared that to my special resource center.
No, we will have support from Robert Lee's advice, make sure she has support. We're literally building,
That's like why they get so big. It's like a ball sack. Seriously, they want to buy it.
Really? Like,
We're gonna tampon. Seriously. Obviously not.
I've got a bunch of old up here.
Look, she's happy now.
I joined her.
Her and her husband
I had to drive an hour.
And we have.
That's okay. Yeah, like, I consider. Oh. They took a shot at me.
Yeah.
You like the double crusted white?
I like that too. That's old sports stuff.
We go over to,
Thank you. That's it. Thank you.
right here, I have,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna cough a lung up. Oh, no, don't do that. Don't do that.
Everybody always loves to
You want some, you want my water?
No, I have.
It's 11, yeah. There's a lot of good stuff.
I don't even think I drank out of this yet. I'm thirsty.
For Berwick, that's on the sacrilege.
sorry for the 5 minutes being stretched.
Sorry for the hour.
But at this time, if there are no other questions from the audience, our board is gonna entertain a motion.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion for a temporary warming shelter to go from today until April 1st with conditions. That there must be a log every night of everyone that enters with a valid ID.
With the valid ID.
And that at 10:30, when everybody is in, that whoever is in charge, the volunteers, however necessary, however we can get it done digitally, electronically, email, that log is sent, and maybe Damien can help us as far as get it to the police department, however we can get it, that they know each night who is in there, okay? And again, this is only until April 1st of 2026. You would have to come again to the board, the zoning board, in order to get permission for any following years.
And then limited to that location for that period.
Okay. And there was a discussion about incidents, that every incident is logged and brought to council at the end of the term. Okay? Lastly, I don't know if I missed anything, if you have any additions, lastly, if any one condition that we're putting on is not abided to, that is cause for possible immediate termination and shutdown of the center, of the warming shelter. Any questions on the motion? Anything missed?
We did talk about, having a volunteer making sure the property was clear within 200, what is it, yards?
Right.
200 feet.
So
feet.
When
In
it
the morning.
closes at 8, a volunteer stays till 8:30 and make sure that the premise beyond the 200 feet, the people, the neighbors that are concerned, that area is totally cleared. That your volunteers do not leave without making sure that the premise are cleared. Nobody hanging in the alley, nobody on property that they're not supposed to be on.
Do we understand all of the things that she had just said?
We do.
Yes.
Are we in agreement with that, if we pass it? We didn't pass it yet.
We are.
And it's understandable.
Yes.
Okay.
The neighbors, does this help with anything?
I still don't understand who's gonna follow the stipulations, who's gonna make them abide by the
I
stipulations.
can't say it's gonna be easy.
I understand that. I never said it would be.
Kurt is going to spot check it, and Damon he has the power to do a lot of things.
I think the possible immediate revocation, or however you worded it, I think needs to be an immediate revocation, not a possible.
We don't have that authority.
He does.
He could put a temporary close on it. Damon may be able to help him with that.
And so I can, commit to doing spot checks as well. it because I'd be lying to you if I
You
said
better
that.
honk when you go past my house.
But, but I will commit to making spot checks as well, and listen, I'm putting a lot of faith that I won't have to do this, and I don't wanna have to do this, please don't put me in this position, Tracy. But I mean, if that means saying, if I get there and conditions aren't being followed, that means saying, we're pulling the plug, you know, that, if that's what we need to do, that's what we need to do. And yeah, the board can't do that, but, you know, the zoning office can, and I mean, I am the ultimate supervisor of that office, and Kurt is in the zoning office, and Larry Freese is part of our zoning office moving forward, and, you know, we will monitor, and I'll make sure that police,
The conditions
are
met.
consistently doing well with that, and yes, we are short-staffed, but we also have to protect the community, and this is a very acute, I won't say issue, but a very acute concern. So, you know, police, I'll speak to them here, saying that they need to make a point of doing well on this, and, you know, they do a great job, and they are short-staffed right now, but this is something that needs to be a priority, and we'll talk with Reagan and make sure that it is a priority.
Can we have an example of how many spot checks? Is this going to be a weekly spot
We
check,
can't,
daily, monthly?
you can't give a pinpoint, let's say the police are gonna spot check, they could have a night where they don't have anybody free.
Correct.
And if it's a major thing, that's where they're going.
There will be,
They have to,
there will be flags that
there
will be
there
thrown
will
up.
be things, but the basic thing here is you have to police yourselves. And if you're caught not policing yourselves, that's gonna throw a red light up, and everybody that can is gonna be watching you.
And for what it's worth, I will commit to no less than weekly.
Okay, thank you. Yes, sir.
So on the volunteers staying till 8:30 to clear the perimeter of the area to make sure they're out of it. And there would be something stated that with the VFW pavilion, because there is, and I know for a fact they are, and I don't care what you say, that there are homeless that do sitting there. I'm not saying they can't, but the VFW is a private.
Stop, hold on.
Oh.
Is this the marathon one?
Just to cover that, as the shelter is on private property, if the VFW would call City Hall or the police, they would address it. That's how that should be addressed. We're trying to work with everybody, we know there's a situation, and, I could honestly say we're not all happy with it, but we're doing it, so. If we get a motion.
And one more, can we have no less than 2 volunteers at a time? Ever.
Must.
That is a must, no less. If you can have more, that would probably be better.
I know
And
it should be.
when you send in your, list, however Damien and you guys decide to do it, of who is on the property, the volunteers should be listed out also. They should need a point of contact. The police department will need a point of contact.
Great.
So whatever form you create, you probably will want to put the point of contact and the phone numbers, okay?
Do I have a motion?
That was it.
Do I have a second?
I will second.
Question on motion. Being no questions on motion, Chuck?
I vote yes.
Aye.
Aye.
I will vote yes. But please, follow the rules and don't make us sorry. Thank you.
Thank you.
Brooke, you gonna get over there to adjourn?